Hey. What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? So, Arbanaka here. Anyways, so my thought on the Kenosha riot, my thought on this 17-year-old kid called Kyle Rittenhouse. So, we all know right now, right? The pattern coming through. By the way, shout out to all of you guys. And if you're coming into the stream, just hit the like button, share. And if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, what are you waiting for? Just subscribe. But anyway, so now we all know the pattern. A white person resisting arrest, predominantly black, and an incident would occur, and then the people would come out and riot. And turns out this person have a criminal past, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But none of that shit matter. None of that stuff matter about why the police were there in the first place. So we already know the drill. Cops plus black person equals bad, regardless of the situation. Anyways, so now, if we get that out of the way, we know that regardless the person's a criminal or not, we're just gonna burn shit down. That's the go-to now. Act like wild people, just burn shit out, whatever the case may be. So it wasn't really a surprise to me where you had a group of people, some militiamen, some armed citizen or whatnot. They decided to actually go out there into Kenosha to protect businesses, making sure that the whole town is not in flame or the whole city is not in flame. Sounds awesome, right? Great intention. However, here's my thought with this kid called Kyle Rittenhouse. One, a 17-year-old. Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'm not gonna actually have my kids nowhere near any of that fuckery. A lot of these people, these rioters, they cannot be reasoned with. You cannot talk them down. There is no logic in their brain. Their whole mindset is to riot, pillage, burn. You cannot reason with that. Trying to have a reasonable argument, then you just wasting your time, because there is no brain. There's no brain cells left. It's all a rage. It's all an emotional rage. And now, when you think you have all these guns about and all that shit, right? You think that you're actually gonna somewhat scare them. Yeah, it might work for a little bit period of time. But however, they literally, how should I explain this, right? A lot of people have these fantasies, right, out there when they're going out, when they're pillaging, when they're actually doing some of these violent acts. They literally see themselves playing some sort of a heroic act in a movie. They think that history will remember them as this great murder or this hero of all time, that they were fighting some sort of a cause or whatever. And I get it, because when you don't have like a noble cause, then you think your action is noble regardless. You whoop some 7-year-old man for actually trying to put fire out of his own business. Well, he's white. That don't matter. you try to whoop some white couple and all this shit. It doesn't matter. They're white. So it doesn't matter. There is no logic behind none of this bullshit that is happening right now. And a lot of people that are on the sideline actually supporting this is because deep down they also want to be part of it, but they are too coward to do so. So then therefore it's best to, cheer on the violence on the sideline. And then while everything around them is actually burning. Now, however, now let's get back to Cal, the 17-year-old. First, there's this article. I haven't even read it yet, but let me read it real quick, and then I'm gonna give you my perspective on the matter. All right, hold up. Where is it? So let's see. A teenager walked among protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin, carrying a military-style semi-automatic rifle, was arrested and faced a charge of first-degree intentional homicide in connection with shooting that left 2 people dead on Tuesday night. Kyle Rittenhouse, a 17-year-old Illinois resident, appeared on multiple videos taken throughout the night by protesters and bystanders who chronicled the event as peaceful protest gave way to chaos. Peaceful protest, huh? Chronicle the event as peaceful protest. That's what they want you to believe, right? It was all peaceful, mostly peaceful. Gave way to chaos. If become chaotic, then it's no longer a peaceful protest. It's just a riot. With demonstrators, armed civilians, and others facing off against one another, and the police and the darkening street. The New York Times Visual Investigation Unit analyzed hours of footage to track Mr. Rittenhouse movement in the moment leading up to and during the shooting. Who is Kyle Rittenhouse? Okay, Mr. Rittenhouse was arrested earlier Wednesday in his hometown, Antioch, Illinois, which was about 30 minutes southwest of the protest in Kenosha, just over the state line. Multiple posts of his social media account proclaim support for pro-police cause like Blue Lives Matter movement and Humanize the Badge, a nonprofit that he ran a Facebook fundraiser on his 16th birthday. Wow, a young activist. His post also suggests a strong affinity for guns, with videos showing Mr. Rittenhouse taking backyard target practice, posing with guns and assembling a weapon. But many details about both his background and his motivation for walking around the Kenosha protest carrying a military-style semi-automatic rifle is still emerging. They want to make sure they let you know that the gun is fucking big and scary and dangerous. So, before the shooting, around 2 hours before the first shooting, the producer of a video live stream interviewed Mr. Rittenhouse at a Kenosha vehicle dealer. Mr. Rittenhouse is there at the same time as several other armed men. Some of them are positioned in the building's roof overlooking the parking lot where the vehicle were burned the day before. In a brief exchange on the stream, he identified himself as Kyle. All right. Let's see. All right. In another interview, Mr. Rittenhouse speak with Richie McGinnis, a video editor at Daily Caller, a conservative news and opinion site. Mr. Rittenhouse said that he's there to protect the business. He called it his job, although there's no indication that he was asked to guard the site. That is the one thing I'm actually gonna fault him for, as well as people like him. Here's the thing, right? And I do understand the sentiment that you don't want your town to get burned out. You don't want it, and you try to protect your business and all that stuff. But legally, he's in deep shit now. Legally, he is in the wrong. As far as, life and death situation, hell yeah, he had every right to protect himself. Because as you can see in all the videos, if you actually guys do your research, he was running away from a group of people that was chasing his ass, right? And then, there's a guy who actually, he had a thorough analysis of how, how it actually occurred. There were actually people were shooting at him. And then there was this white dude on previous altercation was saying, "Shoot me, nigga, shoot me." Isn't it kind of funny? A white liberal, calling another person the N-word. But no racism there, because, he's a liberal, so you can use that. But now, here's the issue with Kyle and people like him. Even though I do understand the sentiment, you feel this urge of patriotic and you want to go out there and actually protect businesses, so on and so forth. However, if it's not your business, if it's not your town, you are now actually building a case that's going to go against you. And also that's gonna, from a political standpoint, you are hurting the cause to which you're trying to support. Because remember, all these riots are happening in Democratic run cities. So which means all the thing that is going on, if the chaos continue to ensue, that's gonna fall upon the Democrat mayors, the ones that actually refuse to actually deploy the police at the fullest capacity to quell the violence. That's all on them. But you going out there now to actually trying to play the hero, trying to protect the businesses. You don't want the business to go up in flame and whatnot. I understand. But now the people you are confronting, they do not have any logical sense. And to them, you cannot stop them with just a gun or whatever. Yeah, sure you can. But listen, every time one of these motherfuckers die, you actually now you legitimize their cause. It's best for them to actually keep killing each other. Remember when Chaz happened, and then like 3 bodies later, then their mayor actually had to be like, "Oh shit, you guys making us look bad." So yeah, confronting these people on their turf, it's all about there's gonna be all chaos around you. You are not gonna be able to de-escalate the situation by trying to rationalize with these folks. You're not gonna make it happen. And two, you are not under no contract. There was no written or verbal contract with any of these business owners to which you're trying to protect. So if let's say that you're part of a militia, if you're part of a militia, and then those business owners, right, they actually they sign a petition, they call upon a militia saying that, look, the police aren't capable of handling the situation, I need help, blah blah blah, and then there's a written consent. Now I can understand that that becomes part of your job, right? You volunteer to do so. So then you at least now have a certain level of protection within the law, you know? And but you crossing that state line, that's gonna look bad upon you with the jury. That's gonna really fuck you up and whatnot. And therefore you have to ask yourself, like, was it worth it? I know a lot of people from the right are actually cheering them on, and I can understand that part because you want to see the violence quell down. He should shoot all the Antifa thugs and BLM racists. Well, I wouldn't say that, man. Like here's the thing, right? Look, a lot of these people. That's what up, Rafka. I don't know who you are. Look, a lot of these people, their mindset is gone. There is no rationality and shit like that, right? And therefore, you don't have to do that for them. They are actually doing it themselves. Think of it this way. Think of all these liberals that actually vote Democrat, or they actually not only vote Democrat, they vote for the most radical ones out there, who take away their right to protect themselves, guns and all that shit. That now actually, crying out to defund the police and all that stuff. So you have to ask yourself, dude, these are the folks that you voted for. You put them in power. So then why would other people come out of their, leave the safety of their own homes and then to go into your cities, and you elected these people to try to bail you out? It shouldn't be your job. Like, if you're protecting your home, if you're protecting your business, then yeah, by all means, you defend that shit to the fucking death if you have to. Right? And that's when you okay, like one of the things that really irritates me is when I saw there was a 70-year-old man that actually was trying to put out fire in his business and all that stuff, and he was attacked by these rioters. Right? They just club them in the head, boom. So there's no rationality with these people. There is none. But if, let's say, this store owner, right, and then he was coming through, him and a group of his buddies and all that shit, right, coming through, try to quell the fire or try to protect his business, and then he happened to pop a couple of these rioters, you know what? I'll be all for it. But Kyle was trying to protect a property that was not his. Maybe if he was protecting someone that was actually being attacked, that was about to die, and then he defended them, like this guy was doing to this transgender. And this dude, like, if he had a gun, yeah, and then he was able to pop a couple of them, I would understand that. Same thing with Kyle. If he was at the moment trying to protect someone from actually being attacked, from being killed, or whatever the case may be, then he would have some protection of the law. But trying to save a business that you had no contract protecting, and then you also now you cross state line with a rifle, which is not a smart thing to do, even though it's like 30 minutes away. But still, at the end of the day, the charges that he's levied against him, he might go to prison for a long time. I mean, he might get off, but they do have a strong case. And the problem is, when you are dealing with these idiots, you gotta make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. Like, for example, if someone trying to attack me or whatever, right? I'm gonna make sure that I cross all my T's and all that shit. Like, I would try to retreat. Well, first I would try to de-escalate, and then I would try to retreat. I would try to make sure I document everything that's going on, so then when shit goes off, then I know I'm in the right. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like, you have every right to protect yourself, but you also have to be smart about how you do it. And one of the examples that I provided was, when the couples in Michigan, when they were being attacked by these two by this mother and daughter, right? They tried to de-escalate the situation, and when that failed, they got in their car, they tried to leave, so which is duty to retreat, right? And then that black lady actually jumped behind their car and shit like that, right? And then smacked the window as if like try to break it, right? And in the car that they had, like, when you almost hit something, it almost, like, the car automatically stopped, right? And then, like, everything shut off. It's like one of those things. I have to share the video where they actually explain all these factors, and their lawyers as well. So then when they're now in that position where they could no longer retreat, then that's when they pull the gun out. Clack, clack, fuck off, get the fuck away from me. So that right there was perfect. You calculate every step before you actually have to over escalate something to de-escalate something. Right. But the way I think Kyle and a lot of people like him, the way they actually went about it, they kind of see this as some sort of fucking movie where, there's like some danger. You know what, guys? Yeah, we are Americans. We're going to get our boys together. Yeah, we are trained SEAL, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to go through in the middle of the chaos, and then we're going to protect shit. It doesn't work that way, man. It doesn't work that way. Listen, these guys are civilians. They're not tactically trained. They're not like SWATs, or they're not police officers. You might have like a couple of police officers around them, shit like that, right? And I guess the most training they might be able to do, like they probably get to do, is let's say they go out shooting paintballs with their friends, right? But this is real life and death situation right there. And then when the people, even though when you had a gun, he shoot out a couple of rounds of warning shots, and they were still coming at him. Dude, these motherfuckers was not playing with you. They were trying to kill him. They were trying to fucking kill him. So even though I'm happy that he was able to defend himself, I'm happy that he was able to get out of the situation alive and actually turn himself in. And then, it's best to be judged by 12 than to be carried by 6. And you want to find yourself in a situation like this, take your chances with the jury. However, that should be a lesson for him or people like him when they are doing these organizations. Make sure you get a written petition from these store owners. All right, did you sign this? You want us to protect your business? All right, we're going to organize around the blockchain. Something like that, to that effect. That's how you got to see it. That's how you got to fucking do it, because you have to cover yourself. Legally, you have to cover yourself. And now what so do I want him to go to jail? You know what? To be fair, yeah, I think he might see a couple of they might have to use him as an example. And I know a lot of conservative might be upset about this and stuff like that, right? But based on my explanation, um, even though it was self defense, but I'm pretty sure deep down, I'm not pretty sure. I cannot be sure. I cannot be certain. His mindset thought that yeah, he's trying to be patriotic, but he was violating the law. And just like if he's gonna get charged, I hope he's not too much, but he's gonna get charged. Just like I also hope the people that was trying to um kill him, the people that were trying to kill him, I also hope that they also get charged. Well, two of them got popped, so that's punishment enough. And the other one with the his arm just like gone, like whew, that was brutal. That was fucking brutal. But you know what? He kind of deserved it. He kind of deserved it. I'm sorry. So, um, what is my perspective on all these riot shit? Like, what do you guys think? Do you think the riot? Do you think is justifiable? Do you think people should go out there keep burning the businesses and all that stuff? I'm not talking about the protests. You have every right to protest. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of time, right? How what people try to inflate is that, well, if you are against the riot, you are somehow against the protest. No, I'm not against the protest. However, I know how the protests are being used now in order to actually hide those who actually start the riot. So therefore, me, I won't go out to protest for none of these clowns. Because isn't it kind of interesting? And I think G Larry pointed it out. Akatunde pointed that out as well. You have how come whenever this shit happened, right? Only when a criminal, the lowest common denominator of black society, when they get shot, right? When they didn't were not complying with the police, when they were the one that get shot, then motherfuckers go out and riot. Remember Amber Geiger when he killed that dude in his apartment, right? And nobody went out and riot. Nobody went out and riot. They probably protested and all that stuff, but it was civil. It was civil. Is it maybe there's a possibility that that dude, oh shit, I forgot his name. Oh my god. You see what I'm saying? Look, the educated brother, right? I cannot remember his name. The educated brother, I cannot remember his fucking name. But till this day, I still remember Michael Brown's name. I still remember what's his name? Well, of course, George Floyd. And now Jade, I don't know. But my point is this, right? If you are, let's say, a black dude, educated, you are law-abiding citizen and all that stuff, right? And then something terrible happened to you. Something extremely terrible happened to you. Let's say you got killed by the cops, or by by a pookie or something like that, right? The chances of these black folks rallying together and riot, it's very, very, very small. And that is a pattern that I've actually been seeing. It's like, isn't it kind of interesting? It's almost like the people that they are rioting for, it's either they are telling the world that these are the representation of black society. Like the last guy who got killed, I believe what happened, he went to his ex-girlfriend's house, took her keys, and then fussing about and all that stuff. He also had a what you want to call it, a warrant on his head for sexual assault, and then fought the cops. Taser didn't work, and then boom, shit happens. All right, but then now the question is, how can I now take any feminist seriously when they claim that, well, you know what, nobody protect us, or nobody protect women when they are being sexually assaulted? Nobody follow through, because they are the same motherfuckers now. They are going out there rioting, burning shit down, and quote unquote protecting their kings. These are your kings? Are these really your kings? I don't know, man. You guys are making us. You guys are making the rest of Africa, the rest of Black America look bad. And it's easy. It becomes easy to sympathize, to actually get the sympathy of the rest of Black America, because you do have people, right, that get very emotionally triggered by this scenario. You have like athletes talking about like, that could have been my son, that could have been my brother, that could have been my cousin, my nephew. It was like, dude, so you are you saying like these guys are a representation of what your son will be? Like, so if your son turns out to be just like Mike Brown or George Floyd or the recent dude that got killed, then I'm sorry, you are a failure as a parent. If you actually aiming for your son to be just like these dudes, you are a failure as a parent. So these should be the representation of what your son could be. But the innocent people that are actually getting killed, right? These couldn't be your sons. These couldn't be your kids. And I think like Aka Nation, he pointed it out too. It's like, why you keep making the lowest common denominator of Black society represent you? That shit makes no fucking sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. And like, when we criticize that section of society, when we criticize them, that section of society, it's not because that we try to make all Black people look bad. No. That's not the case at all. It's not the case at all. It's because like we don't want these to be the representation of Black people. So the more you keep making excuses for them, the more you keep saying that, you know what, these guys are somewhat my hero, or they represent me. No, unless that's who you are, unless you're a Pookie, or unless you do criminal activities, then I guess they represent you. But and also there's a thing too, is like there's I would say, when you do have what you call it, okay, we all play certain fantasies in our heads, right? We all have certain way that we wish we could be and all that stuff. So then sometimes, let's say it's somebody that's just, in real life that he's a coward, right? In real life, he doesn't really stand up for himself, or it's like he's not brave. Let's just say this, right? But and his time in the hood or in the community or whatever, or where he came from, that he would have been the easy target for guys like George Floyd. He would have been the target of I think there's a way, I think Marquise actually described it perfectly, right? He called these folks free picks, something of that sort, right? Free picks. So if you are the type of people, but yet you still kind of, I guess in a way, like you wish that you were as tough or as brave as the Pookie you are now claiming that are wrongfully shot or wrongfully whatchamacallit, they were wrongfully killed or whatnot, because you wish that was, I can't say that you wish that was you, but you wish that you had that type of bravery, you wish that you had that type of aggression, that type of finesse, but deep down you really don't. So then therefore it's easy to sympathize with the criminal element of our society, the criminal element of our community and whatnot, but not realizing those criminal element is the same reason why the community itself has a hard time elevating. It's we need to stop fantasizing there's going to be some sort of race war, and these are going to be the soldiers that's going to actually fight on the white supremacy, and therefore we need to protect them at all costs because they are the soldiers of. No, it's not going to happen. It's not. These are not soldiers. They are poachers. What they do, they find soft target. They find vulnerable people, those without the means to protect themselves. And these are the ones that they actually attack. And they will continue to do so. And then when they meet their final end, and then your ass, your dumb ass, gonna go out and riot and protest for them. Stockholm syndrome. That's what you guys have. But anyway, it's Arbanaka. Share, like, comment, subscribe. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.